In today's video, we'll be going over the top 5 operators that you need to play for solo queue ranked. Coming into my number 5 spot, we have Buck. Now, Buck has been seeing a lot of play recently because people are figuring out that you can play him as a flex operator and you can play him as an entry fragger, which a lot of people did not explore to do as him. But one thing that's cool about Buck as well is with the shotgun buff, he is even more viable. He also has flash grenades if, like I said, you want to play as a fragger, or hard breaching charges if you want to play on vert. So he's all around an all-in-one package, not only for any type of player at all, but he's also really good for solo queue because you can get vert and the hatches as one operator, so you don't need teammates. You can also get kills as one operator, so you don't need teammates. So he's the epitome of what a good solo queue operator should be and is. He has the ability to get vert, sure, but the ability with his shotgun to make himself rotates or lines of sight that he can use on the attack is even better, because then it actually allows him to play in a different way and create new angles that weren't possibly able to be opened up before, and he can do it all solo, which is why he is one of the best and in the top 5 for the best solo queue operators right now in this new season. Coming into my number 4 spot is Solus. I think Solus is arguably the best roamer in the entire game right now. She has the most information denial and the most information gathering in one operator. The ability to also kill people from below if they're on their drones is very powerful. Also, Dokkaebi is very prominent in this meta and in this season specifically, so having the ability to have information on Dokkaebi and arguably counter Dokkaebi is extremely powerful, especially in somebody that is a roamer and is a 3-speed. Now, the SMG-11 nerf did suck, but if you're on PC or you have a high sensitivity or you just are good at controlling the recoil, then it really isn't that much of an issue. So you can run the SMG-11 shotgun combo and also have the ability to have sight set up or make yourself rotates or play below for plants. So Solus is super versatile. Not only that, but she makes it to where the attackers don't get to have a prep phase if you're not setting up sight and you're just going around denying drones, which is one of the most powerful abilities on defense, arguably. Like, that's just insane, especially in coordinated attacks where you need prep phase drones and cutoff drones and flank drones. Solus can just completely deny that, which is why she is so powerful. You can also pair Solus up with people like Valkyrie, people like Echo, so if they try to drone you out, you can see their drones. Or maybe people like Mira. Maybe you don't want to get Twitch droned on your Mira, so you bring a Solus to find the Twitch drones. It's that easy. Solus is very good at not only being a fragger, she's good at roaming, she's good at getting information, she's good at protecting her anchors. She's just good at everything, which is why she's the best roamer, and it's why she's definitely on the top 5 of this list when it comes to solo queue operators. Coming in my number 3 spot is going to be Ace. Now, Ace is arguably the most solo queue friendly hard breacher in the entire game because he is an all-in-one package. He has the best gun in the entire game with a 1.5 times scope on it, which is the best scope in the entire game. This gun has very little recoil, 40 damage with 30 bullets, and a pretty all-around good fire rate. He also has claymores if you don't want to get ran out on whenever you're trying to get the wall open, but also he has a ranged hard breach, meaning that he can hard breach from a lot safer distances. He doesn't have to worry about walking up to a wall if that's dangerous. He can sit behind cover and get a wall open, so it's just a lot easier to get walls open, and the actual breach of his breaching charge is pretty big. So it's like a thermite-sized breach if you just use 2 ace charges, and you can make head holes like Hibana. So like I said, it's just all of the hard breachers really in one operator, and because he has the AK-12, you can also get frags with Ace. So you can play every single playstyle you want with Ace. You can play as a support, you can play as a fragger, you can play as a flex, which is the mark of a good solo queue operator, because it makes it to where no matter what your teammates are or what type of player you are, if you're in a solo queue environment, you can do anything with this operator, which is why I put Ace in the top 3, and arguably why I put everybody on this list where I put them, because you just want to be able to have a versatile operator that can be played by any single player, that can do every single job, and is easy to play and effective when you do play them, which is exactly what Ace is. Going into my number 2 spot, we have Fenrir. Now, Fenrir was the most banned operator last season, and for good reason. He's extremely powerful. The ability to have 5 mines for information is great, 3 of which you can activate at a time, paired up with barbed wire, so you can get easy kills on people that can't even see or shoot you back. If you have the MP7's recoil on lock, you can also run the suppressor, so they can't even see your bullet tracers or where you're shooting them from, so they can't even pre-fire you back when they're blind. It's very powerful to do. Paired up with barbed wire, you can get a lot of free kills and a lot of free information. Not only this, but he has a bailiff for sight setup. So when it comes to versatility, like I said, super important in the solo queue operator, Fenrir definitely has that. Not only this, but again, the playstyle versatility is very important in a solo queue operator. You want to be able to get frags and play support. Fenrir can do this. He can get frags if he aggressively swings off of his mines and barbed wire, but he can also play as a support, just using his mines for information or using his mines near his teammates that you know are going to swing. So you can play this operator if you come from all walks of life. Doesn't matter what type of player you are, if you're aggressive, if you're passive, if you're good, if you're bad, if you can control recoil, if you can't control recoil, if you're maybe a fragger, if you're maybe an anchor, if you're maybe a support operator. It does not matter. You can do anything with any teammates, which is why he's such a good solo queue operator, but more importantly, he's one of the best operators in the game, which is why I got him in my number 2 spot. So who could possibly top that? Well, before I get into that, I want to go over some honorable mentions. My first honorable mention being Yana. Now, I think with her frag grenades being removed, she isn't as good as she used to be. Not only this, but the G36C just got more recoil, as if it didn't have enough for console players, which isn't good. For PC, didn't really matter that much, but still, extra recoil is never good on an operator. Now, the ability to clone yourself in is pretty nice, but if you just used a drone, you'd get kind of the same thing, and you can't really play support with Yana. You're really just stuck to playing as a fragger, and one of the many things that I talked about being important in a solo queue operator is the ability to play all walks of life. She has no way of getting hard walls open either, so that just further reinforces the fact that she's just stuck as a fragger and not as a support operator, which is why I couldn't in good faith include her in the top 5, although I will give her the honorable mention. My second honorable mention is Dokkaebi. Now, to be completely honest, the only reason that I didn't put Dokkaebi on the top 5 is really just because there wasn't room for a 6th operator, and I would have definitely put her in 6th place. She has the ability to get fragged, she has the ability to play support, she has the ability to flex, she's really good at being a solo queue operator, so if you want to play her honestly, go ahead, she's outstanding. The only issue is she's banned a lot, so I didn't want to put her in a top 5 spot of operators that you should be playing if you're really never able to play her. So I wanted to give you a top 5 list of operators that you can reliably play every single round that aren't getting banned all the time. Now, I know Fenrir gets banned often, but he's not getting banned every single game, especially compared to Dokkaebi, when in reality, sometimes they're banning Solus, sometimes they're banning Azami, and you'll get Fenrir like 1/3 out of every game instead of getting him like 1/5 like Dokkaebi. Fenrir's also just like wildly powerful, so I felt like putting him on the list, and Dokkaebi isn't as powerful, I would say, but still pretty powerful. So that's the only reason I didn't put her in the top 5 is because like there just weren't enough spots, to be completely honest. But if you want to play her, I definitely recommend it. I play her all the time. And for good reason. And another reason too, she has a DMR on solo queue ranked in console lobbies, especially if you're not good at the game. The DMR does kind of suck to use, but with that out of the way, that's pretty much it for why I think Dokkaebi is an honorable mention. Someone else who I definitely think is an honorable mention, though, would be Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie is a great operator. I still think she's S tier. Definitely deserves like a top 10 for sure in my book. The only reason why people stopped playing her as much is because you couldn't have outside cams, which is a really, really powerful ability for her to have. Honestly, glad they removed it because it made her overpowered. But even now, she's still the same operator. You just have cams that are inside that are a little bit harder to find than outside, right? So you can have cameras that are super hidden. It's very small cameras. They're very black, so you can hide them in dark corners. And you can pair that up with nitro cells that get free kills. She also has an MPX, which is pretty good. So, I mean, she pretty much has it all. A deagle for sight setup too. I think she definitely deserves a top 10. Don't know about a top 5 though, especially compared to operators that we'll go over next. But, I mean, Valkyrie is just a powerhouse of an operator. So much information. You don't even have to be good with her. If you look up like 5 Valkyrie cameras for blank map before you load in, then you'll get amazing Valkyrie lineups for absolutely free. It takes no skill to play this operator. So, I mean, definitely play her, for sure, but nowhere near close to the top 5 operators that I put on this list, especially when it comes to the defenders. My second honorable mention is Turborao. The only issue with Turborao is you have to reliably have good teammates for him to work, which is not friendly in a solo queue environment. Not only this, but he's highly situational. You can't play him every round if you want to get value out of him. You need to have a Cade, you need to have a Bandit, you need to even have a wall that you're worried about getting open for Turborao to have any value. Especially with him only having 3 canisters, it's not like you're going to use any of those canisters for getting frags, you're just going to use them for playing support. Also, Turborao is a support operator. You can't really use him in a fraggish way. Sure, he has good guns, but you're never going to use his canisters to get fragged like you used to when he had 4 canisters, because now you only have 3 and you have to be sparing with them. So I couldn't in good faith put him in the top 5, especially compared to who my number 1 operator is, which I'll go over now. And that, of course, is Azami. Every top 5 video I make, Azami is on the top, and for good reason. She hasn't gotten nerfed since she's come out, and she's the most broken operator in the entire game right now. She has the ability to have 5 deployable shields wherever you put down her gadget, and it's just crazy. It's just broken. It's completely broken. Bulletproof as well. You can throw them anywhere. You can create pixel peaks, pixel angles, angles they've never even seen before. You can create pressure that was never created had there not been an Azami there. She has a great weapon. She has a deagle for sight setup. She has barbed wire for information that pairs really well with her Azami gadget. She wastes a bunch of time, which is super powerful in a meta where there's a lot of time that needs to be wasted in a fast-paced meta. She has the ability to be a fragger with long angles and pixel peaks you can do with her Azami. She has the ability to be a support if you use her Azami as like deployable shields. She's arguably a great flex operator. She can countervert. I mean, what can't this operator do? Let's be completely honest. What can't this operator do? If you had trouble answering that question, that's why she's in the #1 spot. But with that out of the way, that is completely it for this video. My name's Alka. Check out this next video, and I hope I'll see you there. Later.